because they were expressing themselves. But this time around also, I also love to thank the government, because this government of today, so far I haven't heard that they have closed any media house. So I think that is a milestone in actually promoting the freedom, media freedom, and the freedom of expression at large.
Yeah, you're right. So what do you think are some of the challenges that are hindering media freedom in Zambia?
Number one, I'll talk about journalists. When I mention about journalists, number one, journalists are being intimidated and harassed. And I think on my part, that is also hindering the freedom of expression. Imagine you are a journalist and you are being harassed and intimidated. Like I mentioned, sometimes not only by government, but even just by political cadres. So that has also been hindering our progress in terms of media freedom or expression in our country. Then the other thing also I would say is also in terms of, maybe I would say, lack of resources, because you notice that most of the media houses, they are being sponsored by maybe political parties, and also some of them, they are being sponsored by other government officials. So it's very difficult for them to speak or to express themselves as against certain acts, because they are affiliated to a particular individual, a particular political party. So that also is bringing in that hindrance. And lastly but not the least, also the aspect of censorship. You are going to hear that maybe a particular story has been covered, but a certain part has been removed due to threat of censorship. So those are just a few of the things that I would say have actually been hindering media freedom in Zambia. Yes.
Great. And how is the Cybersecurity Act impacting on digital rights?
For that one, I would say it depends from the angle at which you are looking at it, and also it is dependent on how it is implemented and enforced. So while Cybersecurity Act is there to protect individuals against cyber threats, it is also infringing the privacy of individuals.
Okay.
So I think what is mostly crucial is the government to strike a balance between security measures and the rights of citizens, because I believe it is our right to privacy. We all have the right to privacy. So I think what is crucial, like I mentioned, is just the government to strike a balance and make sure that everything is balanced. There is no interference in the privacy of individuals. And also the freedom of expression.
Okay. And how are the introductions of taxations on political content affecting communities, individuals, and groups of interest from enjoying digital rights?
I think to give an example, I'll give an example. Let's say, for example, today I actually decided to open a political interest group, and I'm dependent on to do my activities digitally or via it will be difficult for me to actually gather around resources to make sure that I pay for the tax, so that I start my online digital stuff. So for the small groups, it's very difficult. So it gives in that financial burden, and in the sense when it happens like that, it will be hindered in the digital rights, where people will lack access to information, and they will also lack the ability to share political information.
Nice. And do you think the current law is enough to protect both journalists and media owners?
Like I mentioned earlier on, mostly journalists and media houses have fallen prey of actually being intimidated. So I think with the coming of the law, I think it's cause all of us to support it, because at the end of the day, and it's there to protect us from cyber threats and also the threats of media houses. Though again, it hinders the freedom of expression by media houses and journalists. So